This is going to be the first video that I actually do. It's just a little idea that I have. My name's Jessica, and I have some of the craziest dreams that you can imagine. So, last night was one of them. So let me kind of elaborate on them a little bit. So, usually they're full of like gore and crazy emotion and something scary, awful happening that should never happen, or things that just don't make sense. Hence, that's why they're a dream. So, last night I had a dream that there were a whole group of us, several people, that were all part of like a circus. It was really strange. So all of us had like these special weird powers for some reason. I think I was werewolf, which is weird because I've never was like any kind of team werewolf or anything. But in my dream, there was a couple of us that were werewolves, and we were trying to practice running on our normal feet, not our werewolf feet. It was really weird. So we were running. And there was this little girl that maybe in her 20s, weighed like 110 pounds maybe. She resembled somebody I went to high school with, and she was pregnant. She was like 9 months pregnant. She was huge, and she was in a bathtub, and she was trying to give birth to the baby, and she had this manual next to her that was telling her how to give birth, but it wasn't like a normal birth. It was how to rip open her stomach, and so she was ripping off the top of her stomach, just pulling it off, like chunks of meat off the top of her stomach, bleeding everywhere, and she had blood all over her face and everywhere, and the baby was going to be born in water, so my sense of thinking the baby was going to be fine, but she was going to die, and she was saying, well, at least my baby will be alive, and she was ripping her stomach out. She was just bleeding everywhere. It was just a massive amount of blood, and then the scene cuts. It's crazy, but mostly chaotic and weird, but, you know, after that, there's really nothing more that happened, but it's all the fact of weird people having weird, special powers, and this woman just ripping her stomach out, just birthing this baby, but ripping her own stomach out. It was insane. Hey guys, it's May 5th. I'm doing this while driving to work this morning, so still not all the way awake, but I did have a very interesting dream last night. At this dream, there was a man on this white boat, this white yacht. It was really beautiful. It was really pretty, and had a couple levels to it. So you had like the area at the bottom where you could sleep, and then at the top where he was driving. And my dream began with him driving the boat, and his wife was downstairs, and she comes up, and she's in his little t-shirt over her bathing suit, absolutely adorable. She's beautiful, and she gives him a kiss, and she walks to the back of the boat and starts playing with her kids. And so the guy drives this boat way out in the middle of the ocean, and he asks everybody, let's go swimming in the water. And he jumps out, they all jump out, and they want to play in the water. So there is his wife and his 3 kids, and in the dream I'm one of the kids. And so the wife and the youngest daughter are playing together, and they have like a inner tube of some sort, like a floating device on a rope. And he's playing a game where he's going around and around and around them, with this little inner tube, and tells them, oh no, it's part of the game. And she's getting a little nervous because it's kind of wrapping around her throat a little bit. And he gets to the point where he's got it wrapped around both of their throats, and he yanks them underwater. And he's holding them under. They're both fighting and just like kicking, and the water splashing, and it's panicky. And I'm one of the kids, so I'm back here watching him drown mom and my sibling, and just drowning them, so physical and violent. So I'm freaking out. I'm the middle child, and then I have an older brother that's there, and he gets scared, he gets terrified, and he's maybe 14, 15 years old. I'm maybe 12 or something in my dream.
He starts to swim away, trying to get away. So I start to swim away to get away because I want to stay with him because I'm terrified. There's no one else to stay with. And so I start swimming away, and I go underwater to try to swim faster underwater, and he grabs my leg, the dad. He grabs my leg and just pulls me under, and I'm fighting, and I'm fighting, and I'm fighting, and I can't breathe. And every second in my dream feels like I can't breathe, I can't breathe, I can't breathe. And this man's holding on to me, my supposed father, and he's drowning me, and I'm fighting and kicking and screaming, and I'm dead. And next thing in my dream, it cuts to a scene where the dad, goes back to land, and he has a family meet him in a gymnasium, and it's 3 kids and a mom, just like us. And he's paying them off to walk past cameras, so it looks like me and my family got off the boat. I don't know where they went or whatever alibi he comes up with. But as they're walking out of the gym, there's a whole bunch of people, whole bunch of people that are yelling at this family together. They're yelling all at the same time, no, 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 just screaming and screaming this, just chanting it. And it's just crazy weird, just absolutely don't get it. But that's the end of it. That's the end of the dream. That's it. That's the weird, stupid dreams that I absolutely have, and it is absolutely crazy. So whoever actually listens to these, I appreciate it. So thanks, guys. It kind of helps get it off of my mind, to be able to, have these dreams written down, because, I'll forget them in a couple of days. And so this is kind of a good way for me to keep up with them too, and maybe someone out there can figure out why I have these crazy dreams, these crazy wild dreams. So thanks again, guys. Y'all have a good day. It's May 6th. I didn't have any super crazy weird dreams last night. I did have like a awkwardly weird dream. Like, I was in some baking competition, and I was trying to grind up those little caramel candies in a grinder, but put it in my batter and forgot to fucking take it out of the batter and grind it up, and I was super stressed trying to win a cooking contest. That's it. That's all I've got. And then I got lost in this really big house, and that was it. But yeah, I lost the baking competition. I didn't get my cake done in time because I forgot to grind up the candies, and then got lost in a house. So that's all I got for you today. That's nothing exciting. And again, sorry for the shaky videos. It's my little dash camera. See, there we go. So I've got my phone hooked up to the little windshield here. So it's gonna be super shaky. So hang in there with me, guys. Thanks. Bye.
Hey guys, it's May 7th. Yeah, I look really shitty this morning because I spent all night running, apparently. So, in my dream, I was in a trailer, like an old trailer, ratty trailer. Not like backwoods trailer, but like a pretty shitty trailer. And, I was being held captive there by my brother, Ricky, of all people. And he had this is going to sound so stupid. He had like a alligator head at night, which is super gross and weird and creepy and stupid. So at night he would like terrorize people and kill them and stuff with his little alligator head. And he had me held captive there, so I was trying to escape from him. And I took all of his stuff and burned it in the front yard. I was burning all of his stuff to keep him like distracted. And so I took off running, and I ran, and I was running, and I was running, and it was dirt road and pavement, and then I came up to like a playground, and it was made of like wood and rope and stuff, and so I climbed up on it, and there's like a little tunnel or whatever, and I climbed through the little tunnel. I guess I fell asleep there, and the next thing I know, there's a bunch of kids running around, and the light was coming through like all the different colors on the tunnel. So I hurry up and leave. Like, I gotta get out of there. I'm sure they're looking for me. by now there's like missing poster signs of me everywhere, which is even crazier. And so I run down to like a gas station and I ask a woman if she could give me a ride to either Clarksville or Russellville, which isn't even close to where I am. And so she's like, yeah, sure, come on, girl. And she had like a New York accent. And so she said, I'm a seventh car over there, and I didn't know where over there was. So I kept asking her, where? She was like, over there, run, we have to go. And so we took off running to her car. She had a little silver car, I think it was like a Buick. And next thing I know, there's like these three people running behind us, and we get in the car, and no sooner than she shuts her door, they open it back up, drag her out of this car, drag her over to a tree, and like just murder her right in front of me. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like freak out, like trying to hide from these people. So I try to like lean my seat back or something, maybe they didn't see me, but they did. So they came around the side of the car on the driver's side, and I was in the passenger seat, and they were looking at me through all the stuff that she had in her back seat, and I could see their eyes. And so then I jumped out of the door and took off running. And ran again. I got to another gas station, and there was like a bunch of little sorority girls or whatever there. And I asked them if they could give me a ride, and they said yeah. And they were driving like an ice cream truck, which is really weird. And when I go to get in the ice cream truck, there's like 7 or 8 girls in there, and there's a bunch of different seats. And she was trying to get gas, and I asked her if she could just get gas somewhere else, because the cop who was directing traffic there knew who I was, and there were signs of me everywhere, and I was just trying to get out of there. And so she piles everybody in the car, and we're leaving, and then there's some little Chinese girl in the back that starts hitting on me. Long story short, anyways, we get to like Clarksville, and there's like a cell barn there, and she thinks that she can get gas at the cell barn, but she can't. And I tell her she has to go get gas at an actual gas station on the other side of the cell barn down the road. But that's the end of the story. So alligator heads, people getting murdered, and ice cream trucks. So that's all I got for today. Thanks, guys. Bye.